Alrighty, YouTube. It's ENR Collectors here, doing our first joint video.
Heyo!
You got E and R this time, instead of just R,
Well,
occasionally E.
it's been a while. Been busy with a lot of things, just like you, but...
And we've been in different states, so it's kind of prevented us from doing joint videos, but
now we can
that's
kind of
changed.
work on this as a team, so we're back at it.
Yep, this is our Denver Comic-Con haul, so that was 2 weeks ago, and
Yeah, it was a good show. We tried a couple new things. We of course did CBCS, which is kind of one of our favorite comic book graders out there. We really like the service that comes with that, the grading certification that they do. Seems to be pretty accurate to the books. But this year we also wanted to try something new, and maybe eventually down the line, once we get our submissions back, we'll compare the two. But we did make a submission through the free service with CGC. So hopefully we can kind of give some information on how that went, what the two services were like, because these were both Comic-Con submissions. If you guys are, maybe you're not heavily into comic books, but you have a few that are worth grading and you really want to preserve that piece of Americana, you know, maybe it'll be a little bit of information for you guys on what the service is like, what you can expect, and maybe help you decide which one you want to go with if you see one at a Comic-Con. So, but this video we're going to be talking about just the haul, the comic books we got, and I'll kind of let R start off because he got a lot more than I did at the convention this year.
Yeah. I mean, we were only there on Saturday. We usually go all 3 days, but I don't know if I explained in the last video I did about the Comic-Con preview, but it just things kind of, you know, prevented us from going all 3 days this year, but we still wanted to go. And I did surprisingly well, considering I spent most of my time in line for 3 different Star Wars actors that they had there, Ray Park, Eunice Suetamo, and Alan Tudyk, all of whom signed comic books, different Star Wars comic books for me. And that's part of the reason why I went with CBCS. I did most of mine. Or I did all, well, no, I did one with CGC, but I did most with CBCS.
You also went through the new witnessing program because CBCS changed the way you could do self-witness. And that's something that was really nice about CBCS over CGC, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But, you know, you still can self-witness with CBCS, but there are new limitations on that. We'll kind of cover that for folks who maybe aren't aware. If you're trying to get a gold label, if you're trying to get that certified signature, there are differences there. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just had to email Mark Roman, who's in charge of their signature program, and a couple of weeks before the show, and you know, he just kind of asked for some information about me and my history of comic books and stuff like that, so he could feel good saying that I'm good to self-witness, because I didn't want to tie up their own witnesses waiting in line for Ray Park and Alan Tudyk and stuff like that. So that's why I did CBCS, and then we did, you know, others at CGC, and so.
Yeah, we didn't do any sort of gold labels with CGC this year, and I don't think we did any verified labels with CBCS, which to my knowledge is still the only grading service that offers that sort of product. That you can get a signature verified, still doesn't have the same provenance or value as a gold label, but you know, if you got something and you just couldn't afford it at the time, or you didn't pay for it, or the grading service wasn't available, it's a nice option to have. So so let's get into the comic book haul.
So I'll start with this one. I didn't get this at Denver Comic-Con. I just got this, I think, 2 weeks ago. Darth Maul is my favorite Star Wars character. You guys know me in my Star Wars books, so I saw this. This is part of the Galactic Icons set. So they're doing one of these, I guess, for every different Star Wars issue that comes out this year, and it's a different character. I'm not all that impressed with the style of these. That's why I haven't gotten any of these before. But I saw this and that was really cool. I did like how they did Darth Maul there. So I don't know. They're good autograph books. So I got Ray Park just because Ray Park plays Darth Maul. For those of you who don't know. But I had him sign something else.
A rare.
But this would have been, yeah. But this, these are good ones for you to get signed.
They're good display pieces.
Yeah. Some other ones, I really like the Batman animated series. I've been trying to figure out like if I wanted to collect any different runs or anything like that. And these Batman Adventures and Batman and Robin Adventures are, I think, fairly doable because I think the whole runs are only like 30-some issues. So I got some of these, Ventriloquist and Scarface. And a really cool, unique villain, so I really like them. This is one I've been looking for a while because Penguin's my favorite comic book villain. So I saw that and I was sure to pick it up. Plus it's cool with the bald eagles and everything. I like that. And then this one I've seen on a bunch of videos too. It's a really popular one. So it was more than those other two, but still not bad. I think it was like $15. But that's a really popular Joker cover. So I only kind of wish I had it because Ty Templeton was at Comic-Con, Denver Comic-Con last year, so that would have, because he's involved in all three of these.
And he did not have, surprisingly enough, he did not have, I'd say, as long of a line.
I walked right up to him.
You know, he was a very personable guy. He was easy to get along with, and
yeah, it was fun. So, yeah, I mean, I think he kind of goes back and forth between a writer and an artist. Because I think for my Batman Adventures 1 that I got signed by him and Kevin Conroy, I think he is the artist for that, but I think he's the writer for the.
There's a couple people that do that.
So.
All right.
Let you show one of yours.
Yeah, so I didn't get as much this Comic-Con go around. Hailstorms kind of came through Colorado recently, and if you're not familiar with the state, we get pretty bad hail.
Yeah.
Baseball sized. I mean, they had their windshields crashed in, roofs are damaged. So in anticipation that there's likely going to be something I'm going to have to pay for there for my roof, I cut back my Comic-Con budget significantly, submitted 4 books for grading, and then I only purchased 3 other books, which is kind of sad because I saw plenty of other things that I would have wanted to get, but I decided to only try to purchase the things that I wanted and I knew I could only get at the convention. So for me, I've just got 3 Campbell books. He was there at the event. I wanted to get some covers that were harder to find or that were sold out or more expensive to get online that I saw there. So I'll start with this. So this one is the X-Men Marvel Girl cover for the Phoenix Resurrection. I like this one because it's the older costume. It's a really good looking book. It's the A cover, I think, in the series. Unfortunately, he only did signed books, which are more expensive than the unsigned versions. But I kind of question that because it almost forces you into a hole, right? If I just wanted to get the book without the signature, then I could get a blue label grade on it. If I get the book with the signature, but I don't pay the extra money for the grading service at the time I purchased the book with a witness there, then I can't get the gold. So I'm forced to, or pigeonholed. I want the cover. I don't care so much for the signature, but I want the cover. Now I've got to pay the $45 for a verified service if I can't afford at the time to get the gold service. So it seems to me as kind of a racket, a money-making scheme. He signs a ton of books, but this was the first year that I went to his table, his booth, and I swear there was not a single comic book there that you could buy unsigned.
Yeah.
Every single one of them was signed, which was different from years past, and it was tough for me because I couldn't afford the extra money at the time to get the gold label. And that would have been an extra, I don't know what it is. You buy that, then you got to pay $30 or something for the signature. If you buy it from them already signed, maybe there's a smaller fee there for that to get that witness. Then you've got to go and pay, I think it's like the $25. So by the time you're done, you're spending $75 to $100 on a comic book, a single book, and really nice to have that gold label. But for me, I just cared about the artwork. So that's what I got. I decided to buy it signed. I couldn't afford to get the verified, but it's a really cool cover. I love the old costume.
Yep.
I also got, while I was there, this is the D cover of Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 11. Really cool cover because it's the reversed colors for Black Cat. And I love the cover. I'm not a big cat fan, so I don't care for like all the cats at the bottom of the cover. But I love that it was just this really cool negative, I guess you could say, of the colors. I love the cover.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of this glamorous look. So again, this was only one you could get signed. One you could probably only get by going to his booth, because the D covers are, I wouldn't say they're Comic-Con exclusives, because if you get them right off the bat, you can get them online, but they're much harder to get, and they're a lower print run. So I really like the cover, like the art. Again, I'm going to have to pay for the verified, but these are just covers I really liked. I just wanted to have because I like Campbell's work. I like the artwork. So,
yep.
And then the last one I did not get at Campbell's booth. Found this one lying around. He recently did a string of the Domino covers, Domino number 1, and he had a few of these for sale online. This is his 1 in 50 variant, and hard to get. They sold out very quickly, so it was the only Domino cover I really cared about because it has, you know, some really cool artwork there. But I found this one. It was the last one they had. It was at another person's booth, and it wasn't a bad price. I think it was for pretty much what it was going for online, $50-$60, and it's not in the best of condition in the sense that there's a couple ink smudges. You know, R here told me that's pretty typical of white covers and everything, but the rest of it looks pretty nice, so I decided to get it while I could. And that was it, guys. That was all I got this go around, was just some Campbell books that I just couldn't seem to get easily anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, being there one day is kind of hard too, and especially in a tighter budget, but yeah.
Well, and next year things might be different. Financial situations will be different, so hopefully
Yeah.
next year we'll have kind of more to show.
Because I've got 3 more here that I got. I got some other ones, but those were all signed by. I got one with Charles Soule. It was a Darth Vader variant, but that got sent off to get graded, and then I got another surprise that I'll probably show when that submission comes in.
We're anxious for that.
It is one I hadn't seen before, but and it was one of my more favorite Art Germ covers. I'll say that much.
Big
and so
Art Germ fans.
I was sure to get that. So these I got at Unknown Comics mini booth. It was really kind of weird. I think what happened is because I was looking at the list of vendors who were going to be there before the show, and I didn't see Unknown Comics listed. So I almost wonder if they were kind of a last-minute addition, because they
might have been, but they've been at Comic-Cons in years past. It's at the Denver Comic-Con, it's kind of a hit or miss sometimes with them, because they don't always bring a whole lot of stuff to the event. I think last year they had
a good bunch.
They had a good bunch.
They had a full-size booth last year. Yeah. This year they had like a wall of one booth, like a quarter of a booth, if that.
Claustrophobic, don't go there. But
like it was a part. It almost looked like it was a part of another booth that if you weren't paying attention.
But they had
but
they had some good deals going on, and
yeah, so
Art took advantage of it.
buy two get one free on their exclusives. So I got this one, Super Sons #1, Tyler Kirkham. So they had this one. There's another one with Catwoman instead, and then I think they also had
There's a
one
Joker.
with Joker, but
I think there's
I
3 or
honestly
4 in
didn't
that.
really like the Joker one as much. But then I think they also have one that's all 3 of them on the same one. But you know, they have a lot of Virgin covers and stuff too. But I'm one of those few people who is really not a big fan of Virgin variant covers. I don't know. I like the trade dress variant, so you can tell which book it is, what number it is.
Yeah.
Because you know, you buy it for the artwork, yes, but it's the title and the book itself that gives it value too. So I don't know. I mean, that's just my opinion, but because they had some Art Germ Virgin covers that I didn't have, but yeah, it was,
WMD.
yeah, WMD. It was
Number
Mary
1.
Jane and
Yeah, and she's
Wolverine.
the Wolverine thing. That's a good cover. I like the cover. I just got the
So-
regular one. So
I got this one. This one, I don't have a lot of Adam Hughes. I think this is probably only like my second Adam Hughes book, this Amazing Spider-Man 800. So, really like that one. Again, I didn't go with the Virgin because they had the Virgin cover. And they had like a kind of a black and white sort of.
well, he's got another one that
Deal.
complements this with Gwen Stacy. But I actually kind of
Yeah.
like this one with MJ a little bit better.
I like this, the Gwen Stacy one. It's like written on there like "I will love you forever," something like that. But the way the eye is drawn, to me, it almost looks like she has like a goblin ear or something like that on it, and I just can't unsee that. So that one kind of bugs me if they had just moved the text of her little written note. But one of the fun little details I noticed on this one too is, you know, he's holding this picture, and you see the chair and stuff like that. So it almost looks like he's on like it's Peter Parker hanging on the ceiling,
Yeah.
looking at it upside down. So,
Adam Hughes is really good.
you know, you kind of buy it for Mary Jane, but it's kind of those nice little details like that. He's sitting on the roof or on the ceiling that make it kind of fun. And then this one I had never seen before, but I really liked it. This Amazing Spider-Man 799. I think it's a Delato cover, if I remember right.
That sounds
So,
familiar.
I think I looked it up, and I think it's Delato. I looked at the back while I was switching this into Mylar, and it's a Comic Exposure exclusive, so that's probably why I didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time, I tried ordering the Comic Exposure exclusive for Star Wars #1, and I just had a terrible experience with them, so I had
They have good covers, but
I wrote them off, and I was like, I'm never going to order from them again, because
their customer
I mean, it was a
service-
Star Wars #1 came out in 2015, January
Mhm.
2015. I ordered this last summer, you know, so summer 2017. So the book had been out for almost 2 years. And it took like a month and a half to get the book, you know, and I just kept waiting and waiting, and I never heard anything from them about shipping the book or anything like that. So I had tried calling them, I had tried emailing them, asking about the status of the book, and I didn't hear anything. They had no communication whatsoever. And eventually, just, you know, a month and a half later, they said it was shipped, and it came, and I was like, this was too much of a hassle for this book. I didn't really want it all that bad, but,
Yeah.
you know, so I kind of written them off. But I guess you can buy their exclusives through other stores that are more trustworthy, like Unknown. So
This is a really good cover just from the story it tells, right? That's a pretty dark.
yeah,
That's a
it's-
huge Spider-Man story there, but that's a really dark cover
yeah, got
and
Goblin in the back.
really well done too.
So yeah, so I saw that, and I really liked that. So I really wanted these two, and then it was a matter of getting my third free one. So that's when
And you got a
than this
lot.
one, so.
You got a lot more coming with the graded books, but we'll do another video together when those arrive, and we'll do an unboxing for both the
It'll be fun to
CBC.
see too that we both submitted them all at the same time, and
Mhm.
he went with CGC, I went with CBCS, so we can compare turnaround times and stuff like that. So
Yeah, just
slab quality, customer
Yeah.
service, etc.
at least at this time, because those companies are. I know CBCS is going through a lot of changes right now.
Yeah, they just moved to Texas.
Yeah,
Dallas,
like a week before the event, even.
I actually
So,
think it was like the weekend of.
the weekend
Like
of,
they
yeah.
were in the
So
process of moving the
so
weekend of Denver Comic Con.
CBCS is been growing, and I think it's good growth. So it'll be interesting to see. They've always been kind of in transition ever since we started getting grading with them, and they've slowly kind of gotten. I don't know. I think the service we get has been just as good or a little bit better every time we go with them. So it's good to see that.
Yeah, I
growth.
mean, I just think they need a little bit better slab. Otherwise, I'm perfectly content with CBCS.
A little bit
so.
clearer, yeah. But
Um,
it's still good. Grading is still good. Protection, and it still looks good. But
Yeah,
we'll go into that
Yeah.
more in a separate
it's
video.
another story.
We could talk about that for hours.
Yep. And then this is that. I think I showed this off last time too. This is the bigger version of that J. Scott Campbell Incredibles artwork.
Can it focus?
See, I don't know how well that'll focus, but maybe give you guys a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, The Incredibles, that's my favorite Disney movie, not counting any of the Star Wars movies, obviously. So we only saw this artwork at one store at Disney World,
Yeah.
in one spot in one store. So, I mean, it's fairly hard to find, but yeah, J. Scott Campbell, he's
Yeah, if you
not
guys
what I was
are
expecting.
if you guys are in the Florida area, if you're watching, you go to Tomorrowland, and I think it's
Magic Kingdom,
Yeah.
go to Tomorrowland, and I don't remember if it was.
It's not quite near the. It's kind of near the Astro Orbiter on the left-hand side as you're walking towards Space Mountain, and there's a store there that had a whole bunch of incredible stuff. They
Yeah.
had the limited edition. What was that? Canvas?
Yeah, it was like
Canvas
a canvas
prints?
wrap
Like
print,
one of 200 or something
like
done.
that. Yeah.
Same artwork, a little bit bigger, nicer presentation. Very cool Campbell cover, and then this print actually also comes with on the back a little biography about J. Scott Campbell, which is kind of cool. So, kind of tells a little bit of his history, his work, and the piece in general. So,
Yeah.
really cool thing. It's not something I would say you see that often. It was kind of a surprise for us while we were
Yeah, I
out
did
there.
a quick little like eBay and
Yeah.
Google search, and I hardly saw it at all. So it's fairly hard to find. So.
If you guys are Campbell fans and you really like his artwork, that's going to be one to
Especially
try
if you
to.
like The Incredibles.
Yeah, that'll be one to try to hunt for. So, but I think that's just about does it for us with everything we got at Denver Comic Con. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks. And we'll see you later.